evening to you, everyone, wherever you're watching us from. It's our pleasure having with us today. This is Road to A to D, Cameroon's biggest political program, and we continue to cover the presidential election in the country because a lot is still happening. In today's edition, we will continue to talk about the post-election happenings, events in Cameroon. Chiruma is now known as the people's president or the president-elect, but it is Paul Biya who is clinging on power at A2D. As such, our journey to A2D continues, like I say every day. Despite some politicians and candidates buying into the idea that the election is now behind us, because we see a lot of people saying that, others believe that it is far from over. Hiram Samuel Iyodi is a former presidential candidate and our guest today. He is also one of those who called on elections management body ELECAM to release the results from all the polling stations so that the people can actually know who won the election. The Cameroonian constitution says power belongs to the people, right? That's what we are being told, and that the people are sovereign. These people decided on the 12th of October, and they made their choice for who they want to lead the country, and that person is Issa Shuruma Bakari. However, the CPDM claims Mr. Biya won the election but has never provided any evidence. Amid this contest of legitimacy, legality, and so on and so forth, as Cameroon now has two presidents. How can we overcome these challenges and how can we ascertain the truth? Let's welcome our guest tonight, who is Mr. Hiram Iyodi. I earlier mentioned that he was a presidential candidate. We've received him here before, but now the discussions are even more crucial than the discussions that we had earlier. Mr. Hiram, thank you so much for your time tonight, and I hope that you're doing well.
Thank you for having me. Yes, I am doing well after this wonderful experience as being candidate to the presidential election. The situation is not well in the country, so I think we are all a bit anxious about how things will go in the upcoming weeks, and I really hope that we will find a way out of this crisis.
So how did you feel as one of the youngest candidates in the race, having, battled the political process with other people that have been there? Others also came in new. With everything that is happening now, how do you feel right now, being one of those who was really fully involved in this process?
I think I am feeling like all the Cameroonians. I still think that on October 12th, Cameroonians went to vote massively and they expressed a will to change. And I don't think that the result as proclaimed by the Constitutional Council is reflecting the expression of the Cameroonians' votes. But now we had debt, we had a crisis that has been going on for 3 to 4 weeks now, with some consequences on the economic situation of the country. Now, as you said, we have a legal president, we have another candidate that also claimed that he won the presidential election and is now calling himself elected president. So I think that this is not good for also a country that has strong financial constraints. We really need quickly as possible to find a way out. And as I've been saying for 2 weeks now, the main solution would be to make all the record sheets public so we can all testify who won the election.
Yeah, when you say that we are not seeing the outcome that we expected and that you are somehow disappointed, what exactly do you mean? Is it based on your own performance or the fact that Biya, who was declared winner by the Constitutional Council, really didn't win the election?
I think many Cameroonians has a doubt about it. We are not confident that the result is actually... That's why I'm still asking. I think if the CPDM is confident on his winning, they should give us all the record sheets, all the PV that permit that the Constitutional Council declare President B as the winner of the presidential election. I think it will be the quickest way to get everyone to know, every Cameroonian to know who actually is the real president. If you look at the results as given by the divisional commissions, and you look at the results given by the Constitutional Council, and you just have a comparison, you will just note that you have a lot of discrepancies between the two results. So even between ELECAM and the Constitutional Council, we don't have the exact same things that make us not trust the results as they were proclaimed by the Constitutional Council.
Yes, so Hiram, at this point, we can barely see you. I don't know if the viewers can, but certainly these are some of the things that we were hoping to fix by now if we had a different leadership in the country. Unfortunately, network issues they remain a major, hurdle for Cameroonians. As you can see, our guest is freezing. I don't know if from your end, for those who are watching, everything is going well. But yes, Hirab, we can still hear you. The only problem is that you're freezing. Yes, we can see you now. Okay, so you've talked about, the results, a lot of discrepancies when it comes to the results that were released by Elections Cameroon and those from the Constitutional Council. Can you tell us with, specific examples? I mean, concretely, what do you mean by that? So that people can understand. Okay, I think we lost Hiram again, but we could hear from him. He is a presidential candidate and has a very strong, powerful voice, voice that is very credible. Yes, Mr. Hiram, welcome back. I was just asking because you said you were able to identify some discrepancies between. Yes, welcome back. Yes, thank you for coming back. You were able to identify some discrepancies between the results from the elections governing body and the one that were presented by the Constitutional Council. When you say that, what exactly do you mean? Can we have like concrete examples? What do you mean exactly by that?
In the previous year, we had a proclamation by the Constitutional Council, subdivision by subdivision. I remember when I was a kid, there was also an election where the president of the Supreme Court proclaimed the results by every vote center. So this year, we just had a total of the votes within the division. And when you take those total and you compare it with the reports of the divisional commission, in some divisions, you don't have the exact same number. It's true that the discrepancies are not that high, but it shows that some data may have been manipulated. So the only way to solve right now the crisis, I think the immediate way to solve the crisis is to put and to give access to all Cameroonians to all the 31,000 record sheets so that we can all testify and confirm who is the true winner of this presidential election. So we won't have any more a debate between the CPDM and the FSNC. We will all know and we'll all be able to confirm who is the next, we should be the next president of Cameroon.
Yes, so Mr. Hiram, you think that, do we need to be asking this or, presenting this request that this is what we want to see happening? Should we actually be doing that?
No,
is that
those
supposed to be the
information should, yeah, they should be public. So we should even be asking that 3 weeks after the results have been spoken and more than a month after the presidential election. It shouldn't be a debate. It should be something clear and transparent. But I feel like they know why they are not giving access to those record sheets.
Yes, so before we continue with this discussion, because there's a lot of question mark over the legitimacy of the Pobia government, after the presidential election, I want to also look at your performance because you were the last on the list and the youngest, like I said. How do you feel Are you satisfied being the last with, I think it was 0.12% of the results after even, all the candidates? How do you feel about that?
I came 8 on 12 candidates. I think that there is a disappointment for sure when you are running for a presidential election. Your wish is to win the election. And at least if you don't win, you're just working to have a high score. But I also think that there is a lot of humility. We should learn from those experiences. And in this election, I think that most of the opposition candidates didn't well understand that Cameroonians were looking for the person that could send the BR regime out. And this was for the main vote, for many of the voters, the priority. The priority was not to support a political program. So they choose, and I think that they give their trust to the minister and president Hiram Bakari, because they felt like he was the one that has the tools to defend his victory. I have.
But apparently, when you look at it, it looks like the numbers are just being ascribed and given to the various candidates. You've already questioned the results. Many other candidates have also questioned the results, like Madame Tomaino Damjoya. We've also seen Honorable Joshua Osei really speaking up against what he calls, unconstitutional, it's not democratic. You as well, you've really come out to say that you are not in support of what is happening and you don't accept the election result. Certainly, if things were to have happened really fairly the way they should have, certainly you will not find yourself in that position. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. And we are, as you said, we have to fight. We have the fight of legitimacy and we have the fight of legality, because as you are speaking, there is a candidate that has been proclaimed the winner and he swore in as the president, so he's acting as the president. And we should also take this point into consideration. But as I said, if the process is closed regarding the law, the process is not closed in the spirit, in the mind, and the heart of Cameroonians. And we should find a way to clear the situation, because as we're trying to go to put this behind us, we might have another electoral crisis in the upcoming weeks with the local election. So we really need to find, I would say, a strong solutions. There are many of them, but the first one will be to have the real results. It should be the first one. And I think that after that, we should move towards a consensual revision of the electoral code. We should not go in another election in Cameroon with this electoral code.
I want to find out from you, Mr. Hiram. This might be like a kind of tricky question, but it's important to know exactly where you stand. I mean, in concrete terms, do you accept Paul Biya as your president?
I won't say that as accept. He is the president. Right now, he is the president. I still think that things have not been doing the right way, and we should try to repair it as soon as possible. But there is someone who is running the country. There is someone who might announce a government sooner. There is someone who might call for local elections. So he's acting as the president.
If things are done the right way, do you think that Paul Biya is going to be president of Cameroon?
No,
let's have your very honest opinion. If things are done the right way,
will have been done the right way, I don't think he will have been the president. I don't think so.
Who would be the president? Who will be the president? Who do you think will be the president if things were done the right way?
There's only one person. I cannot have a debate about them. There is two of the candidates who had 19% of the results. So I think that if things were done the right way, the president might be Hiram Bakari.
So did you have representatives in polling stations?
Yes, we have.
Did they say? What did it tell you as per, who performed better in the 12th of October presidential election?
We have represented, but I might be honest, we didn't have represented in all the polling stations. So we worked with several civil society organizations. We had a reconciliation of the data with Barrister Michel Doki. We worked with several other presidential candidates. So on my end, personally, I didn't have all the data that allow me to say who won the election. But by a reconciliation with the data that were given by other civil society organizations, and looking at the fraud that I myself and my team witnessed on the ground, we are not trusting those results. We are not trusting those results.
Okay, let's look at the efforts of the opposition party leaders. It's been gravely put to question. A lot of people have questioned the opposition. You know, I spoke with many of the candidates during and after the presidential election, and you were one of them. Your manifesto was fantastic. I listened to you. You had, great plans for Cameroon, for young Cameroonians like yourself. I mean, economic plans, social, political, to change the situation as a whole in the country. It was really fantastic. But now, after the election, there's still tension in the country. People have even died, thousands behind bars. I just want to find out from you, Mr. Hiram. Different opposition party leaders have come out to say, "Oh, we don't accept the election result. We think that this is a masquerade, as we will say in French." Others are saying that they should be recounted, or that the Constitutional Council didn't do its job properly. Why are the opposition leaders not pointing directly to the problem? Why are they not identifying or saying clearly that this is the problem? Paul Biya did not win this election. Why are we simply just saying that we don't accept the result? Why are we not being specific? Are you scared?
No, because you said something. We don't have all the PV, all the record sheet that can put us, when you are a political leader, you cannot just assume things or tell things without being cautious, because there are a lot of people following you. So when you say something, you have to be sure that you have all the proof, all the elements that permit you to say it. So as we are speaking right now, we can notice that we have a lot of discrepancies, as I told you. We had a lot of fraud on the ground, as I told you. So all those elements leads us to say that the results are not the true one. But we cannot say specifically and surely that Mr. Biya didn't win and Issa Chiroma Bakari won the election. But there's a deep doubt about the results. And that's why I'm saying that the only way to be certain and to be sure is to have all the 31,000 record sheets.
Record sheets, but we saw the record sheets from Issa Chiroma Bakari, and putting together those record sheets, he said that if you win elections in those areas, I cannot remember the numbers because I don't want to mislead Cameroonians, but I had them before. I'm going to find out. But if you are able to win elections in these localities, it makes you the winner generally across the national territory. What do you think about that?
There is a lot of verification to be made. Actually, the president, Issa Chiroma Bakari, I think he made public the results from the divisional commissions for 20 divisions in Cameroon, and those 20 divisions represent about 80%. When we took also those results and we made the comparison, we had around 60% of the voters, not 80%. So I think we don't have, all of us, we don't have exactly the same numbers. We don't have exactly the same numbers. I talked to, and I think that some leaders in the PCN talk about it. They had, as I just read on their X account, they had about 22,000 record sheets. So they were still waiting for 9,000. And they say that for them, the two of them were really close. So it's different from the results that has been proclaimed, but it's also different for what President Issa Chiroma Bakari said. So the truth is that we all have the reconciliation from the divisional commission, But to do a smart and transparent work on that, we need the record from the vote centers.
Mm. Now that it's not coming out, we are not even seeing the Constitutional Council releasing it or Elections Cameroon. If you see them now from them, would you believe it?
If they do, yes, in the polling stations. So if people are seeing the result on a website or I don't know anywhere, and they just can compare it to what they have, we can just testify
Yes,
if
we
they
can
do
believe it.
results now. Yeah,
Okay,
and and,
Mr.
and,
Hiram, you've
and
actually
it's
you.
been
Mm,
and it's the
mhm.
thing that should be done in any democracy. So if Cameroon claims that we are in democracy, we should just get the results public.
Released. In fact, that's the good point. So you've suggested a 10-point roadmap for Mr. Biya to resolve what is happening in the current crisis that is plaguing Cameroon now. But before that, I wanted to still try to hold the opposition to account this evening and ask you, before the election, there were a lot of promises that even if you do not come together to form a coalition, there could be some sort of a coalition after the election to work together to ensure that the victory of the people is not stolen. There are discrepancies because we also don't see the opposition working together. X could, have the results from that end and bring it to Y, and you put it together to come up with, the complete results that you all are looking for. But we've not seen that happening. Do you have the impression that the opposition has failed Cameroonians?
No, I don't think so, and I cannot talk on the behalf of other political leaders.
Including
But
yourself. Okay,
but on my
speak
end,
for yourself. Do you think
but
you
on
have
my
failed
end,
Cameroonians in
no,
that domain?
no, as I said, as I just said to you, I've been working with Barrister Michel Noki, who were not directly part of the presidential election. I've been working with some people of the team of President Issa Chiruma Bakari, even after the election, to try to have a reconciliation of our numbers. So I think that no, the opposition, Cameroon opposition, have not failed the people. It's not easy being an opposant in Cameroon. It's not easy trying to find the means and the tools to work. So I think that we are keep fighting. For me, it's not behind us. We should still see what are the tools and the power we have in our hands to bring some transparency. But on the other side, as just said, someone is leading the country, and we should also look at how we can make him accountable and make sure that if he maintains himself as head of the state, he should be doing the right things for
Mm.
Cameroonians.
Which is why you have suggested this 10-point roadmap for Mr. Biya to resolve the crisis in Cameroon. As some people are asking, are you implicitly accepting that Biya is the president if you're already giving proposals?
I don't have to accept. And as I said, we should have and do or make a difference between legitimacy and legality.
Mhm.
For now, the person who is acting as president, who is making decision, is Mr. Biya. Even if some of us think that he shouldn't be the one, but he's the one there. And we think that looking at the legitimacy, we should go back and release the record sheets. So stating the fact that there is someone who's leading the country, we should make sure that, and we should, I would say, learn from our early experiences. In 2018, we've been contesting the results, but you just saw that someone was declared president, he swore in as president, and he led the country for 7 years. So we should consider that this might happen again. We should to consider it, and if it happens, how can we work to make sure that within the first months, the decisions that are taken are the good one to restore a strong democracy in our country. So that's the reason why I decided to also propose a plan that, in my opinion, can help us find a way out of this crisis.
I like the fact that you're being hopeful, but for the past 43 years, we have a government in place that is not receptive to political reforms. What makes you think that Paul Biya is going to look at this proposal and even give it a try?
And I don't know if he will, but if you just read my proposal and also have to look at the video, I'm just telling them that if they are forcing, they are maintaining themselves as the head of the state, and they don't do the right thing, we might stay in the crisis. And this crisis might lead to chaos in our country. So it's their choice to make. It's not mine. I just acted as a political actor and made a proposal. They are free to listen to me or not listen to me. We just all witness the consequences if they are, I would say, they still want to go in a way where they don't listen to Cameroonians.
Yes, for those who are watching us, please share and don't forget to subscribe. I know that a lot of people are also commenting in, I can see your comments. People are very engaged now in political discussions, which is really good. For the first time, we're seeing Cameroonians really thinking about how to fix the country. And it's like a unanimous decision. People are so engaged. I mean, when we look at the discussions, the comments, we can see that, that desire, that burning desire in Cameroonians to see change across the national territory. So please subscribe so that more and more people can get to know that we are having these conversations, and don't forget to also share and for others to follow. After the election, there have been mass killings, arrests, people have died, others have disappeared. And you are one of those who came out to really condemn some of these happenings in Cameroon after the presidential election. Who do you hold directly responsible for all these atrocities?
The BR regime. There is no one else. And as I heard the president say that this situation is the result of irresponsible politicians who were manipulating the youth. I think that the youth, they are out on the streets, or they decided to stay at home to follow the call for Villemot because they think that the country is not managed the right way. They are tired of not having electricity, of having bad roads, of not having jobs, of not having electricity to run their businesses, of having their money being used by a small minority of people to have a fast living life. So I think that this situation, people choose to go out because they are afraid that the upcoming 7 years might be as the one we just witnessed. And we can still have peaceful protests in our country. Why can we have in our country a protest where we have police or gendarmerie just looking at people and make sure that everyone can protest peacefully? We cannot have army or police shooting on their own citizens. So I think that the one we are responsible is the BR regime, is the people, I don't know who gave the orders to military to shoot on Cameroon citizens.
And the government is now calling or describing the protesters as violent criminals. And what is your reaction to that?
Yeah, sure. We had some people that took advantage of the situation to break some infrastructures that belongs to Cameroonians economic operators, and it's sad, and we should condemn the people who act this way. But we should also remind that at the beginning, the first 2-3 days were peaceful protests. At that time, when we had policemen trying to shoot on people, that's what things got out of control. And some bandits, I would say, that took advantage of the situation, went in and break things, break infrastructure. So the first responsibility is still the BR regime, who gave the orders to shoot on Cameroonians.
So you are a young, brilliant, Cameroonian. I remember when you announced your candidacy, a lot of people were seeing that presidential, portfolio in you, charisma in you. And even though we saw, other candidates emerge later, and we saw the crowd going towards Issa Shiroma Bakari, and a lot of things changed later. But you remain that very brilliant a young politician in Cameroon at the moment. I wanted to just find out from you. You've clearly stated that if things were to go right and the real results
Yeah.
published, Issa Shiroma Bakari is winner of the election. If he was to invite you now into his government, the government that he's forming, the government of transition, are you going to accept?
I don't know how we talk to him, just to know how he thinks he's going to take the power, because this is the first thing. Just calling people into a government, I know he had to get out of the country for his security, but what are the next steps? These are things we should discuss first to know how the things is going to be, because the president that is proclaiming the victory, Issa Shiroma, he's out of the country. He will appoint some people in his government. What tools those people will have to take any decision? That's the question. That's the question. And I don't know how for now. Maybe I should discuss with some elders in the political scene. I don't know for now how they are going to do it.
But if you're certain that there is a plan in place and that there's a possibility to take power, are you going to accept?
Yeah, I will talk with my, as a political leader, I have to take decision after talking with my
your team, yes.
Political formation. Yeah, so I will talk to them and we see how and what can be done. What can be done. But being a minister just for the title of being minister without can be able to do anything, I think that is not sufficient. It's not enough. It's
okay,
not
very
enough
well
to
then.
Because the goal is to reach it.
Yes. Right. So let's discuss the situation in the FDC. It's been on the news. Cameroonians want some edifications, and they need to also understand the happenings and how it's affected you as an individual, your team as well, because you came with a team of young, talented Cameroonians, to take over and change things for the country. The party you represented during the presidential election, things really turned sour after the election took place when Dennis Atangana gave you the party ticket. What was the deal from the very beginning? Just briefly, so we understand why we are here, where we are now.
The deal was simple. You should all remind of Cameroonians should remind that first of all, I'm at the head of the political party that is called the MP3, the Movement for Patriotism and the People's Prosperity. We didn't have locally elected representatives, so we chose to have an alliance with the FDC. So the deal was simple. They were giving us the platform that can allow us to defend our political program. And as you said, I was coming with a team ready to work and to give us the most chance as possible to win this election. At some point in the campaign, we started noticing that we were not going in the same direction, but we had to go till the end of the campaign. So we worked with those challenges, with those differences in our opinions, in our way to manage the campaign. And after the election, right after the election, the day after, in the morning, the president of the FDC had a public announcement stating that President Biya won the election and that he was moving me out of the political party. So I just take into account his decisions, and I came back to my original political party, which is the MP3, and now we are working with the MP3 for the next challenges that we will face.
So I also recall that we understand that your party leader, the leader of the party that gave you the ticket to run for the post of president, was amongst the first people that actually said Biya won hands down without even providing proofs. A lot of people were so shocked, and it was a great thing that you immediately came out to say, my hands are clean. I do not identify with this. But he represented you at the vote counting commission as well, though you objected again. Can you tell us what really happened? Did ELECAM not consult you on who should represent you? Just so we know.
So, so ELECAM consult me, and I appointed someone, and then as he's the president, or he was the president of the political party that invested me, he also write to ELECAM and appoint himself as my representative. So the day before, or the morning when the National Commission started his works, I had two persons there, and the one that I choose is a barrister in the Cameroon Bar Association. He just chose not to fight in front of people, and just left the room and left the president of the FDC represent me without my confirmation.
This is a bit shocking to hear that he invested you as a candidate. I know that you have a lot of respect for people, and I can see that you're speaking, you're being careful with your words. But these are also things that we really need to denounce, because apparently you are not the only one. We saw the same situation with Mr. Ateki and other presidential candidates even before, the official lists were accepted. We saw two candidates, filing from within a particular political party. Do you think that some of these party leaders that have the capability of running for the election are now using it as means to make money rather than really fighting for the interest of Cameroonians?
I don't know if it means to make money, but they invest you as the candidate, and they still want to take decision on the campaign. And as I remind a lot of people, a presidential campaign is a campaign of a person who is presenting a political program to Cameroonians. Is not, excuse me, I just want to make sure that we have, is not a campaign of the political party. The political party is just giving you the platform that allows you to present your political offer to Cameroonians. So I think there are two things. The first thing, as you said, the day after he just declared that the President Biya won the election, as the divisional commission didn't even start its work. So anyone couldn't at that time say who won the election. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that you just say that you're not happy with your candidate, but still you are going to represent him after in the National Commission. That doesn't make any sense. This is part of
the reason why I'm talking about money is clear, Mr. Hiram. I know that you're being, like I said, but the reason why I'm talking about money is if he is so interested, why didn't he just run? Because there should be a particular reason. It could be for anything except the interest of Cameroonians, because we saw the reaction and everybody was really disappointed. Why didn't he just run for the president, for post of president?
He is the one that should respond to the question, but I think that he thought at that time that he was not up to the task. He was not up to the task, and he wanted himself to get concentrated and in preparing the next local election. And he likes, at that time, he liked my political offer. So he thought, I think if you can listen to his first press conference, he thought that we had the product that could bring most Cameroonians as possible to support us. So I'm just, I'm sad that it ended that way. And as I said, when you have a political alliance, even if it ends, you should not bring some things on the public. So he was the one going the day after saying a lot of things. And I just had some time to clarify the truth, to state the truth so that Cameroonians should know. I run the campaign at the end of the campaign with the president of the political party, that investment that was fighting against him as his candidate. So he's sad, but I think that we learn from our experiences. The first thing we learn is now that I hope that we find first a way out of this crisis. And when we will, for the next presidential election, we make sure that our party can itself invest his candidate.
Yeah, I think that's the best solution. But you also stated on Equinox TV that you are transferred 5 million francs CFA to the Denise Atangana for campaign operations in the center, but nothing was done. Do you think that it was a deliberate sabotage?
No, I don't know, but we had, I would say, money given by the Minat for the purpose of the campaign. So we divided, not only for the FDC, though. The FDC was not our only ally. We had others ally in the campaign. So we divided the money to allow each of our ally to work in his natural territory. Some of them did the job, others didn't. I don't know if it was a sabotage. I think that I thought in Equinox responding to what he said in his press conference, I just saw a communique release where he said that he want to talk again. So maybe he will have a chance to explain himself.
And do you have any expectations? Do you know what he's going to say, or you're not sure?
No, for me, it's a door closed.
Okay,
It's a
that
door
chapter is
closed.
closed.
I
Yeah.
think that I made my part. I think that the FDC is now well known as before, better known as before the election. So I did my part, and I think that we should just each choose his own way and build our political career on the behalf of the Cameroonians to make sure that we can change the life of Cameroonians.
So yes, I have some few questions to ask you just before we go. It was so fantastic having you. But I had this question, but I also saw it in the comment section, people asking, and the BIA government will certainly be forming another government. And if you're called upon to serve within the government of Paul Biya, are you going to accept?
No, I won't. I won't accept. And as I respond this question before
Even
the
if they
election,
say you to be a prime minister?
no, I won't accept. For two reasons. The first reason is I don't have I decide to run to political presidential election because I thought that the way our country has been managed for 43 years now is not the right way. So I don't think this will significantly change. So I don't have the same political line as the president. So I cannot be part of a government that will not bring the change I am advocating for. This is the first thing. And the second thing, as I explained a few days earlier, being a minister in Cameroon, you are more of an executant than a manager. Because the one who appoints you as the minister is the same one who will appoint the general secretary of the minister. So you are not choosing the general secretary. And when you look on how our ministry operates, you can notice that the general secretary is the main person that can lead you to reach your goals. This is different. And the second thing, that even if you want to change the organizational chart of your ministry, you need first to have the validation of the prime minister. So I don't think in our context that being a minister can help you have the results that the Cameroonians are waiting for, surely coming from the opposition. So it's not my ambition for now being a minister of the Paul Biya government. I just proposed a plan to find a way out of the crisis, and I think that the government can, if they want, take some of my ideas and
Right. With all the things that are happening now, would you say that it's time to move on? Or would you say that there's supposed to be that fight for the people's will to be respected and that is very necessary? What would you say?
we should sure fight, but we should, as I said, know how to fight and what exactly are we fighting for.
The fight is not like physical.
No, I understand.
Like,
Fighting for the
yes.
truth. I understand. I understand.
Yeah,
And I
because
just feel
this
like,
is part of the fight. This conversation is part of the fight as well. Yeah.
yeah, I think that right now the question is, what are the tools and the means we have, and how can we use it to fight? We had protests, then we have Vidmod, then for 2 weeks now, I think that Cameroonians don't know, are waiting from some, I would say, orientations to know how they can fight actually. We should keep asking for the release of the record sheets. A part of that, for now, I don't know exactly what can be done to make sure that the truth about these elections should be said. I don't know what exactly should be done.
Are you also waiting for orientations, maybe?
People, I didn't hear you well, sorry.
No, the question was, are you also waiting for orientations, maybe?
I'm talking with other political actors and other political leaders, as you can understand now that the president, Hiram Bakari, is out of the country. It's more difficult to reach him. I talk with President Akerimuna. I talk with President Atekiseta. We are still looking. I think there is I would say a juridical way that they are funding. I don't know. As I said, in 2018, after the Constitutional Consent stated the result is difficult. Even if you file a complaint outside of the country, how many years would it take to have a decision? And within those years, who will be running the country? Will be the President Biya. So I think we have to face the situation with a lot of pragmatism to see how the situation of what we have in our hands, how can we use it to bring change and to bring truth and to finally have those elections behind us.
Yeah, so yes, it's good to believe and hope that, something positive can come out of, that call for change and the will of the people to be respected. We cannot see you, Mr. Hiram. Are you still there? Think that we lost our guests, but we are still waiting on him to come because I had 3 more questions to ask. I can see your comments, all of you reacting and commenting. Ask him if you accept to work with President Issa Shuruma. He already responded. Una Cameroonian then. Una one answer one question 5 times. Then someone is asking if he's going to, accept an appointment from Biya. We already asked that. Mr. Hiram is here again. Yes, Mr. Hiram. So
Yes,
I was
sorry,
just saying that we have, yes, I know that, yes, network issue. I have 3 main questions to ask you. Today, if you were asked, as we speak, who to you is the legitimate president of Cameroon after the 12th of October presidential election?
No, as I said, it's impossible to have a strong position on that. We need
So, yeah, Mr. Hiram's network is also still failing, and we would want him to respond to that question, which is very important because we want to know where all our politicians stand at this point in time. And Cameroonians also have these questions, and they're asking, is here again. I can feel your frustration, Mr. Hiram. Welcome again. Thank you.
It's not network. It's someone who is trying to call me, so it cuts. It just.
Oh, yeah. Always put it on do not disturb. Always do that.
It's difficult to say who is the legitimate president of the Cameroon right now. Because the data we have tell us one thing. There is a lot of discrepancies between the result and all the data. So we need to have the true data. So sure, we cannot confirm that President Biya is the president. And from the data we have a lot of discrepancies. So we need to have a comparison and the release of all the sheets.
So yes, it's good that you're very it's good that you're very specific that we cannot know. We are certain that Biya is not the winner.
We have a doubt. We have a strong doubt on it. And as I said, if the CPDN is confident, if President Biya is confident, he should just ask ELECAM or the Constitutional Consent to release the record so that every Cameroonian can confirm that he is the winner, and we can now move on.
Mm. Yes. So, yes, are you going to, I just wanted to ask a final question before we go. Yes, I know that the data is not good. People are understanding why you're going off and on. I thought that there was a question in the comment section that, some questions in the comment section, but I think that the conversation is ending now. But I have one question for you. It's a lighter one, it's a bit personal. I remember when I interviewed you during the presidential election period, you said two things, you said you were a very strict person, that was part of your personality. You're always very focused and serious when it comes to business, when it comes to something that you really want to achieve. And then number two, you said that you were also engaged to be married. And we saw a lot of, people saying a lot of things on social media as to whether it affected how people perceived you going forward from that time. Do you think it is one or the other, or these two issues that you talked about did not matter at all? Just like to relax the atmosphere.
I didn't hear what the question was.
No, so the question was, do you think that it affected or did it change perception in any way about how people saw you during the electoral period, or you think that it didn't have any impact at all? Just to know.
No, I didn't think it had an impact. I think that Cameroonians, we tend to laugh with everything. We are people, we like to provocate, we like provocation. So yes, I'm really strict, but I know how to be to make fun when times to come to relax. Yes, I am. During the campaign, you will hear a lot of things about you, and sometimes most of those things are good. But the problem is that all the Cameroonians don't know about your life, so there will some of them will just.
No, I'm talking about what you said while you were here. So you said two things. You said you were engaged, and that also you also said you were.
No, I am married, not engaged.
Okay, yes, you're married. Yes, okay. Because the next question was, when are we coming to eat jollof rice for the wedding? So.
No, I've been married for 3 years now.
Just to make you laugh.
We've been together for more than 15 years, so I am married. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, I just wanted to final question. What are your plans now? The 2025 presidential election is over, but it's not over. Like we are saying, that you have confirmed that there is no moving on, because we have to, get done with what is happening now.
Yeah.
What is going to be your next move? What are you planning?
So we have two things. As I say, we are talking with all the other political leaders to find common grounds to have a collective actions. Because usually I don't think that we will achieve anything. That's the first thing. And regarding myself, we are working with the MP3 to restructure the party and to make sure that once we are out of this crisis, we have all the tools to go to local election and to have our own parliamentaries, mayors, and local council, to make sure that next time for the next presidential election, we won't have to need to have an alliance with another political party. Those are the two things. We might have a congress of our party in December in the West regions. I hope that by that time we will find a way out of the crisis. So we will be focused on building our political party.
Any final words before we go, maybe to our French audience, just briefly before we go?
Maybe a word of compassion to all the families who are people in this electoral crisis, and to a word of encouragement to all Cameroonians. I know that we are a lot of millions wanting change. We should keep fighting, and I'm confident that within the coming days we have strong indication coming from the opposition. I hope we have a strong decision coming from the person who is now acting as president of Cameroon.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hiram Iyodi, for joining us tonight. It's always a pleasure having you because when we listen to you, we see the future of the country, and that is going to be in the hands of people that we can believe in, we can trust in. Thank you so much for coming today to speak, for really speaking up and telling the people what you think about the political atmosphere and the post-election happenings in the country. Thank you so much, Mr. Hiram. Thank you.
I am the one thanking you. We are doing politics for Cameroonians to bring change for Cameroonians. So we keep acting. Thanks a lot.
Thank you and have a blessed evening. Thank you so much. And to our viewers, it was a pleasure as well having you with us. As always, for those who are, joining, subscribing, and sharing, we want to also appreciate you all. Like we said, this conversation continues because it's grounded on freedom of expression, promotion of free speech in Cameroon, promotion of human rights to be respected, for the people's liberties to be respected and the will of the people to be respected as well. And that is what MMI is standing for and supporting. We promise, like we said, throughout this process that we're going to be with you. And here we are. We'll continue to be here till we see all the good things that we want to see happening in Cameroon. Thank you for your support, or we always appreciate that you're joining and, being part of the conversation. I just want to say that God bless you all. Bye.